All right. Time out. We've got all these awesome sponsors here.
Right.
Where can they find all the information out for that?
Oh, if only there was a place. If there was only
A portal.
a hub.
A central hub to
A
do so.
central location.
I think there is.
Do we have the technology?
Yes. Baconismypodcast.com is where you can find the best deals on all of our awesome sponsors, including Drink Wild Bills, Pod Decks, Manscaped, all of them. Go over there, find their promo codes. You always get the best deals. But what else can you get over there?
Well, not only can you get the best deals, and we'll always keep those up to date, you can also help out the show by grabbing some t-shirts, some swag. Jump over to the Bacon is My Fashion section. Yeah, there's a whole section. It's just there for you. It's there for you. You can check it out. We have nice t-shirts. They don't chafe. They're nice to the nips. You know I like that.
You know Jimmy's all about his nice to the nips.
I'm like the
shirts.
Drax of this show. You know? I got sensitive nipples, man. I got sensitive nipples. If you have sensitive nipples, check that out. And you know what? How about your ear holes? You want to take care of those ear holes? Because you can find links to all of our episodes. How about your eyeballs? You want those eyeballs? You can find links to our YouTube, Strangerhood TV. You can check out everything right from baconismypodcast.com. It's easy. It's super simple. It's right there. What's your bacon?
I will say that when you go to this site, that will be your new bacon.
That will be your new bacon. Check it out. All right, this is the promo, guys.
Hell yeah! That was
Sweet.
Nice job, man.
Dude, that was so fun.
Yeah, that was awesome. So, how many people actually say like weed for their bacon?
Nobody yet.
Nobody
yet.
That's surprising.
Well, maybe one.
You know what?
Did
because
we get one?
Yeah, we got at least one, but then some of the people that we've had that are like very much into weed are like in the weed business.
Right. Yeah.
So it's not their escape, but they're
It's just,
we've had plenty of people smoke on the show.
Yeah.
So that's
we welcome everything on the show.
yeah. It's okay.
Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon! Bacon is my... Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon is my...
So I also got to ask, where does the name come from? Bacon. Is it like
So, funny enough, I'll let you change the the sign while we cool it off in here
all the time about it.
Well, it's funny. We're both in different bands, and I can't remember how many years ago, maybe 6 or 7 at this point.
It's longer than that.
Both of our bands were invited to do this Toys of Hope benefit in Long Island to get holiday toys for Long Island families, underprivileged families, and neither of our bands could do it. But we were both free, and it was like, yo, you want to just like put together an acoustic set and go do it, and like we'll learn a couple of each other's songs, and we'll like do a couple covers, and we'll go do this thing.
Yeah.
And when we did it, we were like, okay, what should we call ourselves for this thing? And I had recently listened to an interview of a pro wrestler named Bryan Danielson, and
I know him. Yeah.
he was talking about being vegan in the interview, and he was talking about being at a gas station and buying a shirt that said "Bacon is my passion" on it. And I was like, oh, dude, that's the name of our band. It's Bacon is my passion. And we were like, yes, that's totally it. So we did one show as Bacon is my passion, and then forgot about it for years, and got together and wrote a whole record just for fun, because we were both like, we want to write together. So we wrote this whole record that we were going to like put out, but then got busy with our bands, and shit got busy for another like year or so.
2 years, yeah.
And then COVID happened, and during COVID we were like, let's finish that record. And we got in the room and started like, the first hour was us drinking whiskey and talking bullshit. And some of our friends were like, oh man, I'd love to be a fly on the wall. And we were like, oh, let's make a podcast. And we were like, what are we going to call it? And we were like, Bacon is my podcast.
That's an awesome story. That's
great evolution.
Yeah, that's a cool
so
evolution.
that is how that happened. And now there's actually going to be a Bacon is My Passion EP coming out, because we've been recording. we decided to do it live on Twitch. So we got a producer to like tell us what sucks about the songs live on Twitch.
No
And then
fucking way.
We've been editing them live on Twitch, and we've been like rewriting and we're starting tracking soon.
Tracking, yeah.
So
We're gonna
Dude, that's sick.
Yeah, you guys got some balls doing that.
Yeah,
live.
congrats.
it's the dumbest idea ever.
That's fun. It's so hard.
Unique.
like
Unique.
I'm not a solo guy, and like
Right.
there's like because it's just the two of us. We're programming the drums for the just for the demos and stuff, and then we
Yeah.
have a drummer coming in to track everything.
We
But
boc play songwriter guitar.
right, so like there was literally like
Right.
this one part.
Guitar players know what that is.
Yeah. So like
that's my
there's-
level.
this one part where I had to take one of the solos. He
Yeah.
took one and I took one, and and like we're sitting there and we're on Twitch and we're trying all these solo things, and I'm like, dude, I'll do anything on Twitch. You know that. I hate soloing like this. I don't know how to solo, and this is awful for me. But we're doing it.
I thought I was
doing
being.
Bro, I give you credit though. Like to like pull out a scale like out of your ass live. That's like
We have trouble doing it with regularly.
Yeah.
So do we. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys
I-
mind if I go get another drink?
Go
Do
for
it,
it,
do
man.
it, man.
Go for it.
Alright, cool.
I thought I was being all supportive for him too, and I was like, "Hey, man, you're doing great. Just do this, just that." And he was like, "Yo, you got to shut the fuck up, man. You really got to. You're not helping me." And I was like, "Oh, all right, sorry about that."
If it was no cameras rolling,
Right.
be one thing, and like actual tracking would be one thing. But this was like demoing stuff like that. But yeah, it's been cool. It's been an interesting experience. Now we're at a little bit of a standstill because we want to get into a room with a drummer.
Right.
So we got a guy. He's learning.
Yeah,
stuff.
we're gonna use a real drummer for it. We programmed for writing, but we're gonna use a real drummer. So.
does doing it on camera introduce any I would imagine it makes things more tense because I don't know what your guys' studio environment is, but for us things can get tense sometimes when there's like disagreements or if like there's like this like we're having trouble like coming into alignment with like the vision, and like I could just see a camera rolling adding to that tension.
It's a little weird because you're kind of like you try and forget that there's a camera on, and then every now and then you're just aware of like, oh shit, there's an audience
right, like
for this.
like when we're reworking like a part or we're changing a format of something. Like I'm literally sitting there and I'm in my Logic section and I'm like, okay, cut here, copy, and he's like, hey, what are you doing, buddy? You're silent. People are watching here.
Why don't you out loud talk about what you're doing?
And it's like, oh man, I'm just so used to just doing that stuff,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
just
yeah.
doing it, but it's a learning curve. It's definitely a learning curve, but it's fun, like.
When's it
We
gonna?
learn.
When you guys gonna put any songs out? I'm hyped to. We're gonna fucking support.
We are, they're all written. All the pre-production stuff is done.
Yeah.
So we're starting to, the drummer has them.
Yeah, within the next 2 weeks or so, he's
We'll
going to
start
come in.
the-
We're going to jam him,
Yeah, we'll start.
get the feel for him, and then a couple days later he'll come in and track it.
Yeah.
We're hoping by October,
Yeah.
Fuck
at least the single.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we have the first official show that we have to put a band together and do.
Hey.
Where's the show? We gotta pull
where
up.
is it?
Yeah,
We're gonna pull up.
Mr. Beery's in.
Oh,
Best
Mr.
Bay.
Beery's is right down the street from me.
Yeah, man.
Is that on Long Island?
It's on. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's in Montauk,
Yeah.
next to near the Ralphs.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
When is it? It's October 27th.
I'm
Yeah,
there.
so-
I'm
so we have
fucking
to-
there.
Oh, it's October. Oh, I'll totally.
We have to put a band together for it, and
right around Halloween.
Do
That's
it.
gonna be a
Dude,
sick
that's
show.
fun.
yeah.
Yeah, it'll be a good time.
We gotta buy Foreman Grill so we can sell bacon as
Yeah.
promo shit.
Yeah, hell yeah, you do.
Merch
$1 a
has-
slice, man. $1
Breakfast,
slice.
an ode
$1
to
slice.
breakfast on your on your merch.
Yep.
Oh.
We'll get that. We'll get the soybean bacon too.
Yeah.
Taylor, if you want to come.
We'll do a separate.
Yeah.
We'll do a separate Foreman grill. We won't cross the streams.
Yeah, no crossing streams. You know?
More responsible than Burger King.
Well,
Who isn't?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for real. The king.
All right.
One of you guys have like also a similar. It sounds like a similar process to us with songwriting, because you said you like do everything with demos, like with programmed drums. That's exactly what we do too. We we started doing that for our last EP before the full length, and it went over really well. And we found, I don't know if you guys had a similar experience, but we found like it helped putting songs together, like as far as like ironing out the details, like it made it 10 times easier.
Yeah.
Was that did
Real
you
quick
guys?
though.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Oh yeah.
I want to just say welcome to Bacon is my podcast, because
Right.
this is going in. This is all good
Right.
content.
We're all in. We're all in.
People like hearing about this stuff. So we're
Right.
here
Hell yeah.
with From States Away. They got a new record out. It is called Sun in My Eyes. It's out now. Chris, it's out now.
Yes.
It's out now. We in the
It's-
future.
It's been out a week. It's already got a bunch of listens and a bunch of shares.
It
Thank
is
you guys for
fantastic.
doing it. Keep it coming. Keep it going.
Yeah.
Tell your
And-
friends.
Thank you, everybody.
So we are here with
Thank you.
Chris,
Hello.
Joey, and Taylor, and we're talking about the writing process. But yeah, I do think, and that was something that he had never done when we first started writing together.
I'm way off.
I've
on
been
that.
doing it. Fuck, I've been doing it for a long time, like all of like 15 years, like
Yeah.
maybe longer. Doing it that way, and then like kind of coming into a room and say, "Hey, I've got some ideas," and it's like a song. And then at that point, it's like, okay, now everybody can collaborate, move things around, and stuff like that. But he was still of the mind of, all right, we're all gonna go into a room.
I came in a room with an acoustic and said, "Here's a song. Now let's make it a band song."
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
You
Yep.
know.
That was like Bennett's approach beforehand. So with us,
We did a lot like that though. We did a lot of songs like we did it in that way, and they worked. But I think
Yeah.
it was easier for us to do it, like getting each segment like through and like actually like kind of honing in on like the drums and then the rhythm first and like tracking them individually. So Joey really did all those demos and like
No,
thank God.
I'm like you guys. I have a home studio here, and like so like I guess before I joined, because From States Away was like a well-oiled machine before me and Taylor ran it, right? They were like doing their thing, and they had their own like sound and everything. And the way that Bennett explained to me how you guys did things was just like so foreign to me, because I was coming from the studio environment, right? So like it sounds to me like you guys came straight from the studio environment stuff first. So it's just wild to me, because like the way From States Away operated before the studio environment stuff was like raw bones, man. Like
it was cool though.
Every little thing, every little transition, it must have taken.
Well, I think without getting an outside ear, like somebody who's in a studio brain, like, or a producer or somebody, I think when it comes to transitions and even just regular playing, you need that extra person that's going to tell everybody to go, all right, guys, let's turn the gain down just a little bit, and let's not go full blast on drums, and let's hear what everybody's playing before we go and track things.
Does
and then
everybody
everybody
know what
goes
dynamics means?
and then everybody goes, "Oh shit, you played that way? Oh shit, you you strum it this
That's
way?
so
I didn't
true.
know that."
That's so real.
And
my
it
God,
wasn't
yeah.
until then it was just
You're
like,
in
oh,
major?
shit.
You
Right?
played that shit?
I'm not in major at all.
And that doesn't happen when you do it the studio way,
Yeah.
because you have somebody's thing there already, and then the next person's like, "Oh shit, you played that way,"
Right.
and they start the thing, and then it's either, okay, well, we're gonna do it this new way, and then the next person comes back and retracks it or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of but you guys always had that ear.
Yeah, we started
So-
working with a producer pretty early on, where
But even Jimmy was a good
and even
producer.
when my original drummer was the guy that was recording everything, but it was
Before-
more like we record something, and then I would sit in the room with the engineer, and I'd be like, okay, now we need to work on dynamics here, so let's start pulling parts out, and let's start doing this and doing that, and that was, we could only do so much when the parts are already there to like take things out and try different stuff. When you're still writing it, you can kind of do a lot more. But I'm curious, Taylor, what's that like as a drummer coming in? Like, are you able to kind of like listen to it, or when you listen to it, do you listen to it and just try and like, okay, I'm going to take a few ideas from these drum tracks, or I'm going to listen to it and completely just not listen to that at all and try and build something new around it? Or like, how does that affect your process getting something that's a song that has some kind of drums on it?
Well, we've literally demoed and done everything so many different ways, and
Right.
A lot of the time I'll try to like write something that's like independent of anything and make it fit. So let's say like, so we all have a folder on like a shared drive of like riffs and ideas, and I'll just go through, listen to them, and I'll try to match it up with like something I wrote. Might have to change a little bit. And that's like how Snake started. I heard like the riff, like the intro riff, and I was like, oh my God, like I have so many ideas for this. And, you know, I kind of wrote it on my own. And then we went to Joey's, you know, ironed out some of the things in Pro Tools and recorded it. And, you know, it went through a lot of changes. And then the final changes were with the producer, that our buddy Chris Paquette, when we went to record them. Because he was the last one to make any final changes before anything was like in solid form. And it's just there's a whole bunch of different ways I write things. Like I have my own folder in those things where I have my own drum ideas, and I just, you know, try to be creative. I don't like to be you know, play the same thing in multiple songs. Like I'll change it up as much as I can and make it fun, creative, but not over the top. Like I don't want to be like I don't want to stand out over anybody else. I just want it to be like, oh, like somebody listening to it and hear something unique about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's my biggest thing.
How those balls looking?
You know what season is, right?
I do indeed. It is time.
It is time for smooth sack summer. And how do I keep everything smooth, everything tidy, everything the way it should be?
Well, I don't know how you do, but I'll tell you how I do. Manscaped, buddy. You know how much we love the crop mops. You know how much we love the lawnmower, but they have the Performance Package 4.0 now.
They did a little upgrade to the Weed Whacker. Weed Whacker is, of course, the nose and ear hair trimmer. It is now the 2.0. And also, they are getting into the beard game. They've got their brand new beard trimmer, which is fantastic. So go to manscaped.com. Use the promo code BACONPOD, and that will give you 20% off and free shipping.
That's right. So don't forget to work on those testicles, your chesticles, and your cheeks. Keep them clean and ask yourself, what's your bacon?
Taylor also does the programming now. Like he comes in MIDI now too.
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
nice.
like,
okay.
It was me doing it before, and we had some powwows, and it just was better for him to do it because it's his vision, right? So yeah.
Well, that's kind of similar to what, you know, so I was, you know, this latest project that I'm a part of, Something Heavy, it was always me and somebody else. It was my drummer. And pre-COVID, he would, you know, I'd write him, and then he'd come and track him, and that's what we do. And COVID hit, and he still wanted to write and stuff like that. And I'm like, all right, well, this is what you need to figure out MIDI. You got to figure this out. And if you still want to continue to create music, but we can't get into a room and record, well, just program them yourself. It's not like you didn't do them. And we released a couple of singles that way, and it made me feel better about drummers. No offense.
There was a couple times I was programming things in MIDI, and I didn't line it up exactly where I wanted it, and then I played it back, and I actually liked it more than my original idea.
Nice.
Which is really weird. It's a really weird way I wrote a couple parts and a couple fills, but it was like different to me. I was like, oh wow, like that works better than what I had. I like it better, so let's use it. And then I learned how to play it, you know, once I got behind my drum set again.
My band's
record wouldn't have been. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No,
go
for
it. I was just gonna say this record would not have been able to be written if it wasn't for Joey having that home studio, like being able to demo out all of our songs the way we wrote them all, because before that we would just essentially be writing in a room and just being like, we would just jam the song, we would just Taylor would like Bennett would have a rhythm riff, and then Taylor would just start, oh, this is cool, and then we would play and I'd freestyle lyrics over it, and we would make songs that way, but it took longer. But like Joey,
you're
with his
looping
studio
apart
and Taylor
forever.
programming,
And then COVID
it
hit,
really helped.
and then everything shut down.
Right,
I
and then
feel
nobody
like
could do anything
I feel
anyway.
like when we would jam stuff too, it made the process more unfinished when we brought the songs to the studio, because like you know what I mean, like I feel like for I Swear This Light Won't Fade, there are tracks on that EP that we brought to the studio, literally they were half finished, and in the studio we really could hone in on, you know, every little nuance transition and every, like I said before, and it helps us all get into alignment with each other too, right? Because like when we're jamming in a room, everyone's focusing on what they're playing. They're not like, I'm not really thinking about the drums as much, you know, as when I'm hearing the programmed drums played back. And so like little things like, oh, that kick doesn't line up 1-to-1 with Bennett's chug, you know, like those things become much more apparent and easy to detect and fix in that studio space, whereas in the, you know, in the practice room, it's kind of the jury's out. It could go either way.
It makes a lot of sense, you know. It saves a lot of time and money too in the end if you're as prepared as you can be going in.
Right.
And then your changes can either be minor, or the changes that are major can happen easy because everybody knows exactly what they're changing.
Right.
Right.
Definitely. I mean, this might be a little biased, but I prefer the studio environment. Like I just have more fun getting to flex creatively more. So
me and Joey wrote Valleys, remember, in the studio? We just got really, really fucking stoned and like started just like, we were like, no, let's make the hardcore song now. And like we both just like were in his little room just like yelling and screaming.
We were just fucking around, and then we were like kind of onto something, and then Taylor was like, yeah, no, I'm into it, and then Brandon was like, yeah, I'm into it, and then we were like, well, we had to like, we were like begging Bennett, and Bennett was like, you know, like, no, this is good,
like track it right now. Like we had the idea, we were like, no, let's just track it right now.
I think that doing the studio stuff also helps like lead up to going into the studio to like actually record, because it gives us something to practice to. Like for me, like I like to go into the studio prepared. I bang out all my drum parts like in like minutes. I'll do like 3 or 4 takes at most, and that's like on point because I practice leading up to it, to our songs, to a click. You know, I know exactly what I'm going to play. I know what exactly to expect from everybody else in the song. It's not like, oh, like I didn't hear that in practice. It's I've heard it plenty of times recorded, even if it's just like a demo. You know. Yeah.
When you guys go into record, do you record rhythm tracks together in a room to get a band vibe, or do you like a la carte everything in and then put it together?
Piece by piece, right?
Usually Bennett will lay down like a throwaway rhythm for Taylor to drum to get his part, to know what parts, and then we do it in pieces. Like Taylor will record all the drums in that session first, and then Bennett will retrack his part, and then usually it's either me or Brendan next, and then Chris is usually last, right?
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I
How do you guys do it?
I really like the studio way. Like I said, that's been my way for a while, and it's interesting because I've worked with several different drummers when I've been working this way, and I've got everything. I've dealt with everything from like, well, that's not my part, so like I don't know what you want me to do, and it's like, well, I want you to do what you want to do.
Right.
He's like, oh, well, I'm not playing that kind of thing.
Okay.
And it's like, okay, well, don't. That's cool, and or like, I want to be in the room when it's being fleshed out because I want my voice heard. And it's like, okay, cool, like that's fine. And then I've worked with drummers where they're just like, we were rehearsing at his house, and he's like, guys, I don't feel like looping a part 80 times for 2 hours, so just come when you got finished songs, and I'll just take care of the rest.
Right.
And so, but yeah, I've been, like I said, for the past at least 15 years, it's been studio way for the most part. You know, I find it hard to do the like the jam way with a number of people. I feel like if you've got a core group of people who are able to shift at the same time and kind of you can give eyes to, and you can be like, okay, we're going to change it here. It's a different connection and
Yeah.
you know, sometimes I just get sick of looking for the connection,
Mm-hmm.
and then like the connection being there, but the workers not being there.
Right.
And
Yeah,
so it's like, all right, cool, you know. So I don't know. I don't mind a little bit of both, you know.
Yeah, we've been doing when drum tracks get recorded. My band's we switched over to all digital stuff, so that makes it really easy in the studio because we don't have to have anything in the room live except drums.
And no bleed, right?
And no bleed, yeah.
Everything's
So when drums are recorded, we're all plugged in and we're tracking, hoping for keepers, and we're all on headphones. So we're still jamming like a band to try and get that like still in the room feel type of thing. And
That's
we ended up keeping a lot of stuff and just going in and like hitting pieces and fixing things here and there. But we'll run through it with our drummer as many times as usually like Taylor like 3 or 4 times, and we've got keeper takes, and we just kind of play along with them, and then after that we go in and do like, okay, now we're gonna double guitars and we're gonna you know, extra stuff, and then I sing, so I'm last also, like I'm jumping in there last.
The finale.
Yeah, you know, like
The vocals finale.
that's when it's time. That's when it's time for the talent to
It's time to go. It's time to go.
Number one. Number one.
Right.
Absolutely.
I got to go in there and do my 7 backup vocals.
Oh my god.
We have a track where Brendan layered like, I think it was 7 takes, right? For
Which song was that?
the "Fill My Lungs Up" part of Bypass.
Oh, of Bypass. Yeah, that end. Yeah, I remember him doing that.
Brendan literally just did a billion takes, and our producer Chris Paquette was just like, "Yeah, do another one. Yeah, do another one." And like we started looking at each other like he's cooking something. Like
Right.
When Chris gets in the zone, you know it. Like, and
Let him cook. Let him cook.
And then he like did his like he was like, "All right, you're done." And Brendan came out, and then like he went quiet for a few minutes, you know, setting some shit, and then he was like, "All right, check this out, guys," and he hit play, and we were all like, like
Bohemian Rhapsody of vocals.
Yeah, just a
Yeah.
wall of Brendan. I mean, when he played it back for us the first time, it was isolated, you know, so it was just the, you know, all the vocal tracks,
Right.
reverbs and the delays and the stuff he put on it. But that is very much also what you hear in the final, in the what's in the song now, and it hits so good.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, I have that habit too. I'm like, I have an idea. Let's go. I have another idea. Let's go. I have another idea. Let's go. It's always like at the end, it's like, okay, we're not going to keep these.
Yeah.
These can stay.
Oh yeah, I mean, the experimentation is my favorite aspect of the whole process. Is like, you know, figuring out, because like for me it's like scratching an itch. I don't know if you guys feel.
Oh yeah, dude. Overdub day is the best. It's
his
day.
favorite day.
It's my favorite day. It's like, what instrument can I think of to fuck with and make us noise on? Let's go. Let's figure it out. Oh, I hear a melody. Let's see if it works. Yeah, I love that shit, man.
Yeah.
Because then you have this fully painted picture that's great on its own, right? And you're like, I just get to add colors to this and see what works. I get to put something in that someone might hear the 6th time they listen.
Yeah.
And that's like, that's what I want. I want someone to listen to it and on the 6th listen go, oh shit, I didn't hear that before.
Yeah.
Oh man, cool.
Absolutely.
I say that all the time.
Yeah, right. That's
when you're still hearing new shit like the 10th time around listening. That's like when I appreciate the production.
Yeah, that's when I know. That's when I feel like, oh man, we are onto something here. You know, this is we can do a straight ahead, you know, simple tracked out punk rock style. Let's go. But when you start to really kind of get into layers and make things happen that like, okay, this isn't supposed to stand out, but you're going to feel it, you know, and this isn't supposed to stand out, but you're going to hear it the 6th time, you know, or whatever. I love that stuff, you know, like that keeps me going back to songs and listening to them over and over and over again.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Layers. So one thing I did want to ask, you've got 3 music videos out for this record.
Mm-hmm.
And they're very, very cool. what goes into the video making process for you guys? Because we have a lot of musicians on and stuff like that. Some of them, they're like, I farm it out.
Right.
We knew that this was a single, farm it out. I have this buddy who knows what he's doing, and just go with it. Or do you guys have we got DIY people that are just like, I came up with a concept, I've shot it myself, I like the whole nine. So what is your process on the videos?
Yeah, that's a good question. And then also, when this comes out, we'll have a fourth one out.
Nice.
It will be for Sun in My Eyes' title track. Should be out right now.
Sweet.
And that's our most elaborate one yet. Actually, we're really proud of it. But the music videos going up to that, it's all us thinking of the ideas. We have like a group chat with the band, obviously. Like we have a videographer named Brandon. He's really awesome, and he's done all of our music videos so far for the album. And just starting out with Kaleidoscope, we wanted to do that one first. We knew this would be like a good, like kind of kickstart, like we're back kind of thing.
Comeback.
Colorful comeback. We had a little like, we wanted to make it colorful, and we haven't put out anything in a little while since Night and Day, and we were like, let's just make it bright, fun, performance shot, cool. And then for Snakes, Taylor had the idea of we always try to come up with the location and like kind of what we're doing if there's like a theme for it, which can be the hardest part sometimes, like working together, all of us coming up, like agreeing on something, coming up with the ideas. And Taylor's one of his friends had a tattoo studio, and we got to use it for Snakes, and it was like really awesome. It's all like 90s themed, and there's like all this like cool memorabilia everywhere. And I don't know, personally, that was my favorite music video. Like doing it, making it was so much fun.
So much fun.
Nice.
Being with all you guys.
If you watch that video, it's like decked out with, I mean, you guys would have loved it.
You're playing Smash.
It's all Spider-Man shit.
Yeah.
And like, among other things, of course. But like, we didn't do any of that. It was like that. So we just set up our gear and then put more of the on-theme like memorabilia on our gear and stuff just to, add to it. But like, that was just how it was, and it was cool. Like,
And then it was just us recording us having fun. All we did was have fun that entire video.
Right.
That's
Yeah, yeah. Which comes
and the
through.
teabagging makes a cameo in that video.
For Held Me Down, I think, was also another one we're really proud of, because that one we were trying to figure out where to do it, how to do it, but at the end of the day, we knew that song was like kind of like an ode to like our like family and like people who like kind of like have been there for us the whole time, and our roots and stuff. So like we came up with the idea of like having all of our like old footage of us, like our like as like us first playing shows, all these other things, all our people, all like baby pictures of all like us and like our families and all this stuff, and like all our friends and stuff, and included them in the video. And then we recorded it at like the practice space where like we wrote the album, and we were like, nah, what's like better way to just like do it there, like where we wrote this shit.
We thought the practice space was the most appropriate thing because it's a meaningful location for us,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And
then
great too. Brandon did some really cool like posts, making it all look like old film and stuff, and
Right.
like
he worked his magic.
Yeah, he
Sorted through like probably like 300 files of like videos and pictures.
Like, so many.
So many. We had like a Dropbox for it all. We were like, all right, just dump it all in there, and he'll pick the good ones out.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? We got a little hint for you here, a little secret. How do you help the show? We've been asked. Here's a way to help the show. Check us out over at patreon.com/baconismypod. You can get lots of extra stuff.
Yeah, like additional shows, ad-free episodes, early episodes. Shoot. Every Sunday, we record our discussions and drinks live with our patrons.
Yeah, so you can have a drink with us while we do it. You can watch us cook things. You can watch us eat things. You can just support the show. And that helps us keep putting these out. It helps us just
Keep the show free.
Keep the show free. So thank you guys so much for supporting all of you over on Patreon already. Our patrons, you guys are our lifeblood. Thank you guys so much. And if you want to help out the show and you want to jump on, and you want to be part of that BIMP squad, jump over to patreon.com/baconismypod.
And then for Sun in My Eyes, the music video for the song, this one, we were kind of between doing a few songs for this. We wanted to possibly do Hair. We were maybe also thinking further than before. We wanted this, and I think we just chose Hair at the end of the day. I mean, chose Sun in My Eyes at the end of the day because we haven't, it's like probably the most serious song on the album, I would say, like more like, I guess like tonal wise, like maybe not like a different tone, it's longer. It's more like balance composure vibe. Like it's a little different than the other tracks, and we wanted to give it proper shine. And also it's like a very big culmination of the album's theme. But for this, Joey's always really, been pushing for like an actress or an actor kind of segment rather than just like a performance shot.
Type of B-roll,
like a B-roll, which we all really were always down for, but it's always been hard for us. So it's kind of like been a little bit of a turn for us to do it because like we've had like actresses cancel and like it's just really hard to schedule everything and like the time it would take. But for this, it really fell together, and we did like a really cool green screen vibe for it with like for one of the A-roll, and it's like you'll see it like in the video, but it's like all like cool backgrounds of like like sunflowers and suns, and it's like us playing along to that. And then we have our actress, our friend Abby, and she's like kind of like laying in this bedroom that we built for it, and it's like her blossoming like like kind of depressed and stuff, and like then at the end she like gets out of the bed, and like it's like really cool. Like it has like a green screen projector in the background, so we're really proud of that one, and Brandon really crushed it. Cool. So that's kind of like and then that's kind of how we have done music videos so far.
It's so funny when you brought up like the band chat and we throw ideas in there. It's just like I just know what the band chat is, and I know how chaotic it is, and I know how argumentative it is, and it's God forbid you throw God forbid you go, hey guys, we should do this cover. Oh, that is the worst. That is the worst thing you could ever put into a band chat.
Right. I don't even try for covers anymore.
It's so like validating for you to say that. So like that the group chat is chaotic. We're like, it's not just us, thank God.
No.
Dude, no.
I have a group chat of 2, my drummer and myself, and it gets just as chaotic. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's always like, hey man, we should cover this song. It's like, cool. This song's cool up until the first chorus. After that, nobody's gonna care. Keep trying.
Our band chat is always we have to make this decision, and then somebody says, all right, so let's all think about it and then regroup and talk about it the next time we're together. And then that follows with that same person outlining their whole thought process on the whole thing. And it's like, aren't we getting together? Let's think about it silently. Let's think about it not with our thumbs.
I'm so guilty. I feel like I annoy the band chat so much with things. Like I'm like, guys, you should be doing this, or like we gotta do this. We gotta like. I feel like I'm the project man, like the mom.
Yeah,
right.
Business, like
the business side.
Hey, we have a deadline.
My work side gets into it, and I'm like,
and I'm the literal opposite. Like I'm Mr. Artsy fart. Like I'm like, oh well, you can't rush art. So like, I kind of like. Yeah, it's a good balance, though. I think
make it work.
You need
a
those
balance.
things. You need both of those things, man.
Well, it's funny.
And I feel like Bennett also kind of falls in the middle too, because he's also, he's business too, but he also
Bennett.
I feel like Bennett's the most grounded. Like he's the voice of reason, because like me and Chris will get like flighty and get like these fantastical ideas that'll never pan out in real life. Like myself,
he brings us down to earth.
I have the most unrealistic expectations of all time, and Bennett is like the most realist person. Sometimes even I wouldn't say to a fault, but let's not get into
that. shout out, Ben.
Can't shit on the guy that's not here, even though he's a bass player.
I will cheers to you, Bennett. I am also the party pooper of my band.
Oh, Bennett.
I am that like, okay, how are we going to do that?
Well, it's
important.
I'll be like, guys, for this next video, let's have like a scene with 5 people in this location that we'll never be able to get. And this is
not happening.
It'll just be like, Joey, how are we going to do any of that?
Right.
And I'll be like, Chris?
But I feel like when Bennett agrees on something, like he's like, yes, I'm like, oh, it's actually going to happen. Thank God.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like... It gives me hope.
He's the voice of reason. He like if he sees it as a possibility, then it could happen.
Yeah.
I'm the Bennett of my band.
You're the
I think
that one.
I think I'm the Bennett of my.
I'm
band,
definitely
too.
that guy.
But I feel like our chat gets a little bit that way too, and
Right.
I'm that like super like got these lofty ideas.
I'm the Bennett of this too. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a difference. Sometimes he'll go, how is that going to work?
Right.
And then sometimes I'll actually have an answer. And he'll
Yeah,
go,
you'll lay it out, and I'll be like, all right then.
He's like, okay,
Let's do
that
it.
Yeah,
works.
we do. Sometimes he
Let's do
changes.
it.
Sometimes he changes his mind.
Yeah.
Very rare. Very rare occasions, but it
See?
happens.
You
All-
do need somebody to ground you, though.
All we Bennetts need in life, all we need is a little bit of a plan. Just a
He's gonna
little
love
bit of a
this.
plan.
He's gonna love this.
Once we get that little
can't
bit of a
wait.
plan, we're like, fuck yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think, in terms of plans,
Yes.
okay, I think because we didn't get to actually talk about shit
Right.
for a little while, right? Because we don't want to spoil things. But I think Across the Spider-Verse has been out long enough.
No.
You haven't seen it?
I love Joey.
I
This is a contentious point of the band.
I have
I
a take on the Spider-Verse stuff.
Whoa!
One
Wait,
second.
have you?
he hasn't seen it.
You haven't seen it?
Okay, all
He
right.
hasn't seen it.
All right.
I haven't seen the second one. I've seen like the first 10 minutes of the first one, and I literally rage quit out of the streaming app that I was using. Like I couldn't.
Wow.
Wow.
All right.
He's
All right.
Okay.
I don't usually talk about it because I know I'm very much
That's
alone
so
on
funny.
this. But like yeah.
I'm so happy.
I wanna hear your take because
yeah,
we don't
you're-
mind shitting on you.
You're a Spider-Man.
I mean,
Yeah,
debating it.
You have every
I
right to be
mean,
wrong.
Can
like, this is what like I
Spider-Verse
I get this
2
from-
was one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Oh my God.
It's so good.
Excellent.
One of the best movies I've ever seen. Not even
Excellent.
just a comic book movie.
Yeah.
So like I mean, first of all, like even predating these movies, I was never a fan of the idea of a Spider-Verse, of a multiverse with Spider-Man.
Okay.
I'm a firm believer that Spider-Man is supposed to, fight in the streets, and like I'm a big fan of like the Ditko run and the Ramita run before. Like when Spider-Man starts fighting space aliens and like these grand existential like universe-ending threats, I feel like the original point of the character is lost.
It loses something. I agree with you 100%.
Okay.
100%. Yes.
Oh wow! Someone actually agreed with me.
No, I do 100%. That the essence of the character of Spider-Man that
It's grounded.
That is the reason that everybody got behind it and is able to identify with it is that
He's a
is
kid.
street level. He's a kid. He screws up all the time. He's got a lot of stuff that he's juggling, and he's a regular human being that is just racked with guilt.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So
I mean,
I 100% am with you on that. That being said, that's not what we're getting. So we have to judge based on what we're getting.
yeah, I see. I have a problem letting go, I guess.
All right.
I mean, like, so, and another thing is,
And this is Miles. This isn't Peter. This is Miles.
This is
Miles.
also a problem that I have to just like let go of when they start taking like when they start getting really like liberal with their adaptations of characters, like they'll change things.
Right.
And like I really don't like that. Like keep it like the comics, man. Like when they represented Green Goblin as an actual flying monster instead of, a human on a motorized like flying thing,
Mm-hmm.
that pissed me off. And that was like in the first like 3 minutes of the movie, and it was like a glossed over scene. But like I was like, are we just gonna skip over that? And that's Norman Osborn? Like I got mad. Like, and that's the thing. I get so irrationally mad at this stuff. Like I realize that it
I
makes
love
no
that.
sense. I get
Right.
more upset over this than things that matter. Like I'll
Right.
see
It's
the
true.
horrible
It's
news
so
headline,
true.
and
It's
I'm like,
true.
that sucks, but I'll be fine. But you represent Green Goblin as a flying monster, and I lose my shit. It doesn't make sense. I realize I'm the way.
Well, so let me ask you though, and I'm hesitant to ask, but did you not enjoy No Way Home?
So, I mean, I went to No Way Home kind of with an
It's
understanding of what to expect, and it actually surpassed my expectation, which my expectation was pretty low. So I actually did like No Way Home. No Way Home felt like Spidey to me at certain points, and they did a lot of. So I hated. Well, I actually hated every Spider-Man movie except for No Way Home. Like, I didn't even like the Tobey ones, guys. I'm that.
Wow.
Right. Well, they changed. They were really close, but they changed.
Yeah, Tobey got it the closest, but
Right.
like the tone was a goofy clown show, and I feel like that really didn't fly with me for that. And then the Andrew movies had like so many issues. I'm not even going to get into that. But like the MCU movies made so many changes to like just like Peter's character. He was like a sidekick, barely happy-go-lucky. There was that guilt that you said wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, they like course-corrected a lot of that with No Way Home.
Yes.
And that's what made me happy. And
well,
also,
you can see all three of them as almost the origin story of now we have Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Before that, we had Iron Man Light, and now we have Spider-Man.
It took No Way Home for me to appreciate the first two movies, for sure.
For me, I think
I was openly giant tear crying for Aunt May.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, me too. Me too, man.
I was like,
For hot Aunt May. Hot Aunt May. Have some respect.
Hot Aunt May. Yo,
man,
Daddy.
I was just in the theater like, what?
I was blubbering, bro.
Dude,
I cry during movies.
The one thing I gotta say though,
they got me.
When Peter said, "I'm not feeling so good, Mr. Stark," and like that whole scene, I lost it for that scene too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a wuss. I'm a baby.
Yeah, I was too. I was like, the spider sense, he knows.
Something
He feels every bit of
he knows.
something that we've said a couple of times in terms of the actors who portrayed Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
I think in an overall sense, despite the script, despite the story, I think Tom Holland got it the best.
Yes.
Yeah.
On both sides.
Yeah.
I think Tobey got it on the Peter Parker side.
Yeah.
Yep.
Failed on the Spider-Man side.
And Garfield
Garfield got
Spider-Man.
the great Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Shitty Peter. He was way too cool to be Peter Parker.
Way too cool.
Yeah.
Way too cool.
Yeah. He's like
was
skating.
He's like, dude, I created Facebook.
Yeah. What's that quote from the social? I don't want 10%. I'll be back for the whole damn thing.
Right.
Or like something.
Right. Yeah. That's the one
My
thing that I
Spider-Man
have
is
to
not
say.
a badass skater.
I go into these movies, and I've actually learned a lot from this gentleman to my left.
Yeah.
Because he's just very happy that there's superhero movies happening.
Yes.
Right?
I like to live in this world that we are, where these things are being created.
I used to be super salty.
Yeah.
Like anything.
Oh my God,
Zack Snyder.
You guys are
Bennett.
living in Bennett. Bennett is super happy that move that we just get these movies, and I'm like, no, demand more from our art. No, these corrupt directors are committing studio malpractice on these beloved characters, and that's me.
I'll
And
agree
Bennett's
on some. On some of those, I'll agree. Yes.
But you do.
I said I'll agree with that on certain movies and characters are pretty awful.
Joey Joey doesn't like most things.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm just
Give me the thing
Are
I
you
like
sure you're
in
not
the
a drummer?
exact same way that I like it.
Because usually that's the drummer.
Right.
That's like, no!
Yeah.
Well, Taylor doesn't really watch movies.
Doesn't watch
like,
movies.
not into
Of course
like.
he doesn't.
Well,
of course he-
Where'd he go?
He's too busy actually
Saving lives.
He's
Oh,
saving
right.
He's literally saving a life right now.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of talking with two dudes drinking whiskey.
Right,
Whatever.
right.
Fine.
So,
Go
dude,
save a
I'm
life.
Missing out.
You guys are both big Spidey fans, obviously. What's your like cross all the comic book artists specifically, or if there's like a cartoon or a movie? What's your favorite take on the character?
Visually or in general.
Like when you want to see a Spider-Man thing, what's your first?
Visually, I like Mark Farlane and Ramita.
McFarlane, yeah.
Oh, okay, great.
Those are my two favorite visual Spider-Man.
When we were at that, so little backstory. I was down in Charlotte visiting my parents. I went to this really cool History of Marvel thing, and they had like original cells from the McFarlane run. And it was so cool. I have pictures.
Cool.
I'll show you. I'll show you
Nice,
the pictures in a little while. But love it. Love it.
I'm there visually, and then I go more with like. I got into Spider-Man when I was like a child. Like my grandmother would bring me comics, and I would like read. So like from when I was like 7. And I first started reading, the first things I read were Spider-Man comics. And the first time I understood, nice, that's awesome.
Right?
Oh, there you go.
So I love a lot of that era. But then that 90s era of storytelling, Kraven's Last Hunt, the Sin Eater storyline, like those captured me a lot too, like those graphic novel
Did you see the Kraven trailer?
I did.
Looks brutal.
I did. It looks brutal. They changed a lot on Kraven. I don't like Kraven as a hero. I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm not
The thumbnail of him leaning back, like the cover of that comic.
The cover of the comic
Yeah.
book
I
is
like
sick.
that, and I like the scene with all the spiders coming down, just because it gives me that like fearful symmetry thing going on. Like I like that, but yeah, the lion blood getting into his blood. I'm like, come on, man. You got
also,
Calypso. Calypso's in the movie. Give him some herbs. Let's make it happen.
I was gonna say, is Calypso like I didn't see Calypso? Was Calypso in the trailer?
That's the girl he's talking to in the trailer that knows him. Is apparently she's playing Calypso, but I only know that because
I don't think I knew that.
I only know that because like that actress is playing the character of Calypso. So it doesn't say it doesn't look like that at all in the trailer.
Okay, yeah, because I didn't put that together just from when I watched it.
Right.
I was a little bummed that he didn't have like that classic Russian accent. Because Russell Crowe had it.
Yeah.
Right.
And it sounded great. I was like, oh man, and then it cut and it was like Russell Crowe talking. I was like, oh man, that's not him. Like that sounded so good.
Yeah, I almost like in my brain was like I wish that Russell Crowe was Kraven and this was like a Son of Kraven type thing, and we were moving forward.
That would have been cool.
With like you could give me the same thing I saw in the trailer then, and I'd be like, all right, I'm on board. Tell me Russell Crowe's Kraven and all that shit is canon, and this is a new story with this. So. I mean, I think it looks cool. I think anytime someone whips a bear trap around
over
someone's head
face and smashes it,
I'm interested in seeing where that goes.
It's R-rated too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you watch the trailer, there's no way it can't be.
I think they're gonna destroy the character.
Yeah.
Sony does that. Sony's like, this is an IP only. Don't even read the comics.
I'm not a fan of their whole structure of making these villains without
How do you have Venom without Spider-Man?
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad you said that because I was so depressed when I heard they were making a Venom movie without Spider-Man in it.
Yeah. Now, was it a fun movie? Sure. Yeah.
It was a fun movie. If you're going in expecting comic book accuracy, don't. But I still got a good laugh out of it.
Right.
He said some of the lines from the original comics too, like right. So I mean I feel like they have the capacity to do it right, and they just don't give a shit.
Yeah, they got to bring Spider-Man in at some point, and they're going to. And I'll agree with you. I think the Spider-Verse thing is a lot. I'm not a huge fan of that idea. Just because I'm like, if we already have a multiverse, how do we have a separate Spider-Verse that's different from the multiverse?
It's so muddy so quick. And
right. And I do like my ground level Spider-Man, which I think, the same kind of thing with that's why Ant-Man got a little weird.
Yeah.
So I agree with you there, but in a vacuum where I get to go see these movies, man, I love going to the movie theater and kind of getting lost. And
I love going to the
I'm not going to...
I'm AMC
I can't... Yeah, dude. I'm not going to sit in the theater and be like, this isn't fucking right!
See, that's what I have to get over.
Right.
That's what I have to get over.
Spider-Verse, man, that's that new one though. Like just the art alone, like
Dude,
it
it's
was
so
just
cool.
so incredible. Like
It's
it
so
took
cool.
like Hobby, man. Like it took like apparently like 3 years to make him like alone.
Yeah.
Well,
Dude,
they,
like the Spot, like
I
The
love that
Spot's
they-
progression
So cool.
was so
insane.
sick.
Towards the end, bro, it was menacing.
Oh,
like he
man.
became menacing, and I was just like, whoa, like.
And I can
and the
see Joey.
music
I can see
soundtrack-
Joey in his eyes. I can see it right now. He's like, "Fuck Spot."
right.
You know what though? You don't get it, bro. You didn't see it. You gotta
That's
watch it.
It's like Paste Pop Pete.
It's so sick.
Like a
It was
Spot.
so sick. The art style was so cool. Like I need to see. I'm gonna see it like again. Like I don't see movies like I feel like unless I really love something, like I'll see it again in theaters, like more than once.
Yeah.
But just the set, like Metro Boomin doing the soundtrack, that's sick. Come on.
I always go see these twice in the theater. Mostly because the first time I see it, I'm like the hype
shocked.
train is there, and like you're looking for things, and I'm not really absorbing as much as I
Yeah.
want to story wise.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of wowed by shit. And then like the example I'll give is I went and saw Flash, right?
Oh,
And the first viewing of the Flash, I was so kind of caught off guard by certain CGI choices, and
I've seen the pictures.
and all the and then all the nostalgia. I'm not a nostalgia guy. Like I'm just
Same.
not. I don't care.
Me either.
I saw it. It exists. Cool. Give me something new. So I was excited to see Michael Keaton, but I rather would have seen him in a Batman Beyond movie, to be honest.
Yo.
If I'm
Yeah,
gonna see
that would
Flashpoint, I'd rather see Thomas Wayne. You know, like I'd rather that. But so I left it the first time being like, all right, it was enjoyable. I can see all the things people aren't gonna like about this. You know, it was good. It was okay. It was all right. I went and saw it again. I liked it a lot better the second time because
Oh, really?
I wasn't shocked by the CGI because I knew it was coming, and I know it's a
Yeah.
choice. It's not
Yeah.
that they ran out of time; they made a choice to
Yeah.
do certain things.
Well, that's a lot of the people that worked on that movie were like, "Yeah, if the CGI looked like it took a week to do, it's because it's literally how much time we had to do it."
Well, no, a lot of the problems
I heard-
people had with the CGI was in the Chrono Bowl, which is the area where he's checking out the other timelines.
Right.
Right. There's definitely elements of bad CGI
Yeah.
in sections, but that a lot of people had a problem with that. They're like, it looks so messed up, and I'm like, dude, I read comics all the time. And
Yeah.
if you're in, there's a lot of art that's drawn shaky on purpose and non-realistic
Absolutely.
on purpose.
Yeah.
You know, and we just saw the Spider-Verse where certain characters were literally
Yep.
shot at a slower frame rate than other ones so that they looked more shaky and looked more off.
They're like some of them are glitching. Like
Yeah, so it's like, okay, this was a choice, so I'm not going to be... I know it's coming. I know it was a choice. Cool, it was a choice. Got it. Let me
Yeah.
just get into the story. And story-wise, man, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I
It
like
got me
that
in a few
perspective.
spots,
I
you
didn't
know?
mind.
I like that perspective a lot, though. Going in, like, because you already know, like, well, after that first time seeing it, I need to do that more because I feel like I'll do that with horror movies. Like, I
Right.
really love horror movies.
Yeah.
And I'll go in, like, judging, like, the movie, kind of like, no,
Yep.
listen, this is not good. This sucks. Like, you know what I mean? And then, like,
Yeah, you have
I
this
don't
idea
capture
in
it.
your head already
Yeah.
of like
Yeah.
either you have expectations of your expectations not being met, or you're walking in with like a all right, wow me, you know, or something like
I do that with albums. I do that with
Yeah.
new music sometimes, too, man.
I do that too. I go to
Yeah.
shows and I kind of have that, and I'm like, man, I gotta get. Who the hell am I?
It's predisposition. Like, yeah, who am I, dude? What a, like,
You know,
It's
like
killing
it just
is what-
takes away from you enjoying it anyway.
right, exactly. And it's like, and
That's real shit.
if you read too much stuff like people's reviews online, like I'm not reading a movie reviewer's review. I'm reading a jerk off on Twitter.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
It's true though. That's
No,
true.
you're right. You're
Why am I
right.
taking
Yeah.
this guy's opinion? You know, like or any of
Yeah.
that. It's like I'm just gonna decide for myself, and I'm gonna go check it out.
That's
And,
real shit, man. That's a great lesson. Like that's a good point to.
It helps
for
me
myself,
enjoy
everyone.
things more.
Yeah, dude. Because at the end of
Yeah.
the day, what's it for? It's
Right?
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Are
We
you
wanna enjoy it.
entertained? If you're
It's
entertained
entertainment.
and you were able to lay off of your problems for a couple hours and get sucked into something, then it did its job. If you weren't entertained, then yeah, it deserves every bit of like this sucked that you can give it. But if you're walking out of a movie and you're like, if you're walking out of a movie and you're not a human being who spends hours perfecting computer-generated images, then for you to have an opinion on them is asinine.
Right.
I agree.
Shut your mouth.
Everyone does think they're experts, and I feel like I'm guilty of that too. It's like, what do I fucking know about this shit?
Yeah, you see people that have like the people that can't even like
play an instrument.
That's still just their photo editing is Instagram filters, and they're like, yeah, that's not how I would have done the Flash. Like, what?
More sepia, bro.
Yeah.
You're more sepia.
I actually didn't really mind the Flash when I left the theater. Usually when I watch a movie for the first time, I gotta do what you said though, like start watching it twice. I don't usually do that unless I like. So what I usually do is I leave the theater and I have my first impression of it. Was I entertained? Did I leave with rage with my blood boiling, or did I and then what I typically will do is I'll think about it. I'll like sleep on it. And what I found about myself is movies that reward me thinking more about them, I tend to like more. And movies that when I think more about them, I feel like I'm thinking more than the movie writers did. And then that makes me like that's why I hate everything, because I'm like, well, they didn't do anything.
Don't you think
right
though that there are two different kinds? Well, it's like junk food and like good food. Like sometimes you really want junk food.
Yeah,
it's like not that great.
Yeah. That's
great
for
example.
Sure.
Great example, man. Yeah.
Great example.
I mean,
I guess I like.
There's room for both. I think at the table.
Yo,
But
we live on Long Island. We have the ability to get great pizza all the time, and every now and then you're gonna get Domino's because you're just like,
It's
and
late.
you know what though, Domino's still hits.
Right, and it's not. Is it objectively awful as compared to great pizza? Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But as its own thing, does it give you what you need?
Yep.
Sure it does. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yes.
I love watching bad movies. I love watching really bad horror movies, like campiness. I love campy movies.
Yeah,
or like
I do too. Yeah.
I think it's fun. I think it's more fun. In my perspective, don't worry. I hate things too. Sometimes I don't like things, but
sure,
I like going through life trying to like things as much as possible if I can. Because then, what the fuck else am I gonna do?
I'm a positive Pete.
Yeah,
trying to be anyway.
I try. Yeah, we try. That's the thing. We try at least. Gotta try.
There are times I like to call those Morbid times.
Morbid times.
The Dark Ages.
I haven't seen that yet.
Hey man, you know what? You want to
morbid, not morbid. Morbid time.
Having a hate watch of Morbius for came out, and we haven't got time yet. So I'll
join you.
I'll join you. You want to feel better about the Spider-Verse? Go watch Morbius.
Wait.
Your hate is in the wrong place, my friend.
I've got a thing.
That's so true. Your hate is in the wrong place.
You're wasting your hate.
I've got an idea.
You got to aim hate.
I've got an idea.
Tell us.
Isn't Morbius on Netflix right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. We do a watch along on Patreon. You guys are invited.
Yeah.
I'm
all right.
down. I'm so fucking down, dude.
Okay.
Well,
that would be so fun. Let's fucking do it.
All right, we'll set it. Okay. We'll set it up, and we'll do it on our Patreon, and
I've never seen it either, so I'm down.
We'll get the patrons in, and we'll do a Morbius watch along.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I was never. This was one I was not gonna see the second time.
Yeah.
I had no plans to see this.
Morbid time, baby.
It's Morbid time.
The other day, I watched X-Men: Dark Phoenix for the first time.
Oh, how was it?
Don't go see it.
See, aim your hate where it needs to be.
Aim your hate,
needs to be.
It's important.
When I know it's that bad, I don't even bother seeing it. Like I don't even bother seeing it.
But then you have no shelf to put things on. You need to have a bar.
My bar is unrealistically high. Like,
what's your
low? If it's not No Way Home, then it's trash. Like,
okay, all right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like
that's That's an unhappy
No, it was
life.
great.
You're gonna leave.
Very unhappy. That's what Bennett says. That's what Bennett
That's what
says.
Bennett says. Like, Joey,
That's
you hate
way too high.
so many movies.
It's so high.
That was one of the best superhero movies
Ever.
ever.
I
And
know.
just in general, a great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's real. That's like being like, yo, if it ain't Schindler's List,
Yeah. If it's nothing, if it's not Goodfellas,
It just
I don't want to
sucks.
see it. I don't even want to see it.
if it's, I don't watch any horror movie that's not as good as Jaws.
Yeah.
Shining.
It's like one of the greatest movies of all time.
Exorcist. Sorry.
Right? Yeah. If it ain't The Exorcist, it's
Sorry.
trash.
Oh my god.
Hot garbage.
Yeah. No, I'm working on it, guys. I'll come around.
It's all right. We'll do this together.
Fun
man.
fact on the
It's
Exorcist.
Morbin time, Joey. It's
Morbin
Morbin time.
It's Morbin time.
Oh
yeah.
man, that's awesome.
Yeah, man. So we've covered a lot.
Yes.
We've kept you for a long time.
Yeah, this is definitely a to be continued
Oh, I forgot we're
episode.
recording. I was just shooting the shit at Pep.
No, yeah, man. We definitely hit it off. I am going to
Awesome.
keep the door open for you guys.
Yeah.
Whenever you want. If you're bored on a Sunday, you want to have a drink and discuss movies or
Dude,
fitness or how we can
Yeah.
be better at fitness. You let us
Do
know.
something.
You hit us up.
Do something.
Hit us- Right. Yeah. So before we sign off here, I want you to tell everybody where they can find Sun in My Eyes, where they can find everything from States Away.
Yeah. What
Yes,
you got
sir.
coming up? I mean, now that the record's out, now that the new video's out,
And now that you've got a sold out
you got a
record
sold out piano
release
show next week on the 22nd. What do you got? What do you got? What's happening in your world after that? Give us a scoop and let us know where to find all the stuff.
So yeah, man. Find us at From States Away _ on all our socials, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter. The list goes on. We're playing Tiano's on the 22nd. Please check out Sun in My Eyes. It's out now. It's our first record. We got vinyl for that
All
too.
streaming platforms.
On streaming platforms. Get the record. Get the vinyl pressing. It's sick. And for the future right now, we're writing this fucking album, man. This is taking us like probably 2.5 years, and we're gonna play like all throughout New York City. We're gonna do some East Coast shows probably. Yeah, we're just really excited for the summer. We're gonna fucking party right after the show, so come.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, come
Oh, we also
down to
just-
Lower East Side. What'd you say, Joey?
We also just put out a new line of merch. So
Oh, we
did
got
see
new
that.
merch out too
Yeah.
from statesaway.com. Check that out. And yeah, man, we just feel really fucking grateful we get to show all our kids and our family this shit. So at the end of the day, that's what it's about.
Nice. And
That's
in 3
awesome.
seconds, we're gonna do the thumbnail for this episode, even though Taylor is missing. 3, 2, 1, go! All right.
Fuck yeah.
thank you guys so much. This was great.
Dude, you
No.
you guys are awesome, bro.
Oh,
We
yeah.
love
Thank you.
This is so much fun.
Awesome. Cool,
Yeah,
cool.
we're in New York. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Dude,
we'll,
link
we're,
up.
We're gonna link up. for
we'll have
sure.
you come to the
Yeah, we're
studio
gonna link.
and eat
Definitely.
things that are way too hot or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Oh,
we'll-
I'm down. I'm so down. Hot Ones challenge.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
You
All
signed
right.
up for it. So.
All right. All right.
I'm
We've done
there.
a few. We've done a few of these.
Yeah.
I'm fucking down, bro. Don't
Sweet.
tell us.
Awesome. I will ask you guys one more time. Now that we're at the end of the full hangout, have you thought of, or if you are thinking of, what's the first thing that comes to mind now when I say, what is that thing that makes your life a little bit better? What's your bacon, guys?
Joey.
Good banter.
Good banter.
Yeah,
I like
friendship,
that.
man. Friendship.
Yeah, man.
Friendship, for real.
I like
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
I like it too. Remember, everybody at home, check out the record. Share. Thank you for sharing, everybody that's sharing already. All links and everything are in the description. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for watching. Remember to ask yourselves every single day, what is the thing in your life?
It's a super important question.
It is super important. What's the thing in your life that makes it a little bit better? What's the thing that adds to your day? What is the thing that makes all good things just a little bit gooder? Guys, do you remember the question that they need to ask themselves?
What is your bacon, baby?
Bacon.
Yeah, shout out. Bacon is my podcast, these goats.
Goddamn right.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Nice. Thanks,
Thank-
guys.
That is the episode.
That is the show. That is the episode.
That was fun.
Friends, here we are. We've come to the end of yet another fun-filled and exciting journey down Get to Know Ya Lane.
With a band from not States Away,
No,
but from right here.
Ironically, from the same state.
Yeah.
But the band is called From States Away.
Yes.
Which, because you listened to the episode. They were fun. They were a good time.
Yeah, they were a lot of fun.
I like those guys.
Yeah,
I can't wait to hang out.
Definitely check them out. I am excited to... Man, we should probably maybe set up some shows with them.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah,
we should definitely do that.
Maybe we kick that to 8 DJ.
Ooh, that's a good idea. Maybe get him on the August show.
Yeah, stay tuned.
Yeah,
Might happen.
See what we can figure out. Until then, tell him your stuff.
I am at me my own self Mike. It's where you'll find all of my personal things, my adventures personally, my band things, my podcast things, my family things, my likes, my dislikes, all that kind of stuff. And then my band at Something Heavy Music on all the socials. Check out Something Heavy on all streaming platforms. We should have another single coming out very, very shortly. We try to do it every other month.
You guys are pretty good with that.
We also, if you want to hear what Jimmy and I do together.
Indeed.
Besides
talk.
Right. We do things on Thursdays. Most Thursdays. The Thursdays that we can.
Yeah.
We do it on
a lot of
twitch.tv/Bacon is my pod, where we do music called Bacon is my passion. And what Bacon is my passion is what started this.
Yeah, we're working on the EP of songs we wrote a few years ago that created this little show.
Yeah.
That you are listening to. That we thank you so much for checking out.
Indeed.
Check that out. Every Thursday we will either be there or there will be a message saying that we're not there this week.
Right.
But most weeks we'll be there.
Yes.
So definitely check that out. You can find me, Jimmy G's Shoes, on all the socials, where you can see pictures of my shoes. You can see posts. I'll go out and check out bands. I usually post something from a venue if I'm there. Every now and then, the odd opinion.
Yeah,
I'll throw out on something. I'll throw things out. Really, the most of me you're going to get is going to be right here on this show. I save it.
You save for this.
I save it. I lovingly hold it in.
There's some stuff you don't save, though, and that is... your innards.
Those are my innards.
Your innards you put out in a different vessel.
I do. I write them all down, and then I pick up a guitar, and then I sing them with my band Craving Strange. And that band...
With the voice of an angel.
A fallen angel that hit every branch.
I'm talking about your face. I'm talking about your voice.
My voice hit a lot of branches.
Oh. It's still pretty.
Check us out at cravingstrange.net. We have new music that we're working on. We have a bunch of shows that we're doing. If you want us to play in your backyard, let me know. We'll come do it.
Yeah. For a small fee.
Nominal fee. So check that out.
He also loves being paid in exposure.
Exposure is my favorite kind of payment. My car runs on exposure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's amazing. You'd be surprised how far it goes.
Absolutely.
And you might really be surprised at how far it goes. It doesn't go. It doesn't go very far. You can check us out at baconsbypodcast.com also, where you can find this show and everything that we do and links to all the stuff that we've been talking about, as well as links to all our sponsors. You can check out Wild Bills. You can check out Grit Your Ass Off. It's summertime. Make that stuff happen. Get yourself some root beers and sarsaparillas. Get yourself some rubs and some cool stuff for the grill. Send us pictures and let us know what you're grilling and what you're doing, because we do like food.
Yeah.
We do like food. Send us some recipes, too, if you figure out some cool stuff. Hashtag what's your bacon. Stay in that conversation. Wipe off your nuts with stuff from Manscaped. 20% off. Promo code BACONPOD. Find all that stuff at baconsbypodcast.com on our sponsor page. We've got merch, too. Check out our merch. We do appreciate every little bit of help. It helps us keep the show free. It helps us keep the show running. If you want to help in a bigger way, jump over to patreon.com/baconismypodcast and find all kinds of extra episodes, commercial-free stuff, extra content. We go live every single week with discussions and drinks, and you can jump in the conversation with us on that and everything. Just thank you guys for your support. If you want to support more, do one of those things. We appreciate you. We appreciate you listening. And don't forget, every single day, to ask yourself,
what is that question?
asked the number one question.
We asked the band, and they actually got it right.
They did get it right.
Yeah.
They did get it right.
From States Away knows.
Did you get it right? You know what it is.
Is it?
What's your bacon? Sasquatch is real.
World peace.
Flat Earth is fake.
Timeout time.
How those balls looking?
You know what season is, right?
I do indeed. It is time.
It is time for smooth sack summer. And how do I keep everything smooth, everything tidy, everything the way it should be?
Well, I don't know how you do, but I'll tell you how I do. Manscaped, buddy. You know it. You've been listening. You've been seeing the show. We've been talking about it. You know how much we love the crop mops. You know how much we love the lawnmower, but they have the Performance Package 4.0 now.
Where they did a little upgrade to the Weed Whacker. Weed Whacker is, of course, the nose and ear hair trimmer. It is now the 2.0, as opposed to the 1.0. Now,
right. That's one better.
I used the 1.0. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
And then they sent the 2.0, and I said, how could it be better? It is. It just is. I don't know how they do it, but Manscaped keeps upping their game. And
I've been digging the lawnmower for a long time. Right. I like the skin safe technology. I still use the guard. But no. I have not once nicked a thread on the beanbag.
Yes.
Not once.
Yep.
Now you don't want to lose any beans.
No.
Everyone.
No, you don't.
You don't want to lose beans, and with other methods, oh man, you could lose a bean.
Yeah.
But not with Manscaped.
Exactly. And also, they are getting into the beard game. They've got their brand new beard trimmer, which is fantastic. So go to manscaped.com. Use the promo code BACONPOD, and that will give you 20% off and free shipping.
That's right. So don't forget to work on those testicles, your chesticles, and your cheeks. Keep them clean and ask yourself, what's your bacon? Smooth Sack Summer.